and today we're going to talk about how to help people that don't want to be helped, that are not interested in you supporting them, saving them, giving them advice, and often it'll be people that you really care about. That's why you give two hoots about wanting to watch a video like this, because you do care a lot about them and you do really want to help them, and it pains you to see them in suffering. Might be a family member, might be your partner, might be your children, might be a friend, could be a workmate, but usually it's someone that's really close, like in the family. And you know, everyone's on their own journey, right? And everybody's life experience at some point usually involves a little suffering, a little facing of life's adversity, seeing our own darkness. Sometimes we go in a little hole along the journey. And it's really important to remember that you don't need to save anybody. Everybody's responsible for their own selves, for their own journey. And that can be hard to swallow when you're talking about young people. If it's your children and you feel responsible as a parent to help them. And also, of course, if it's like your partner, right? You don't want to see your partner, you're living with them every day, you don't want to see them in suffering, and you do feel that responsibility. But it's so important to even logically remember that no matter who the person is, no matter what age they are, actually, from a higher perspective, you are not responsible for them, they are responsible for themselves. You might say, well, people aren't in a position to take responsibility for themselves because they're in so much pain and suffering. But you know that even through that pain and suffering, sometimes we have to go to those places and to come out of that in the timing that's right for us, to sometimes learn the hard lessons our own way, to sometimes fall off the wagon, to sometimes make mistakes, to sometimes end up in a hole and realise either the consequences of our own actions or that we've had enough and we're ready now to move forward. Sometimes it just takes that unfolding for people to get to that place on their own, and that can be really, really, really hard to stomach when you're watching someone you love suffer. No doubt if you're watching this video, you've already reached out to the person that you want to help and they've already said no to you. They might have said, I don't want your help. They might have said, I don't need your help. They may say, I don't have a problem. There's nothing wrong with me. They may know there's something wrong, but they still don't want your help. They want to do it on their own, or they're using somebody else to help them, or they're just not interested in getting help, full stop. So with a way for you to be different about this so that you can help them is, number one, what we've talked about, is that remember everyone's here to walk their own path. We can support each other and love each other and be there for each other, but ultimately each person has to walk their journey. They're the ones in their own shoes, they're the ones in their own skin, they're the ones that ultimately have to make the choices for their own physical, mental, emotional well-being and where their life is going in any given moment. Two, continue to reach out support to them. Because you hear no once doesn't mean that you obviously wash your hands of it and you're never there for that person, but the way in which you offer help is very important. You want to offer help in a way that says, here is something that I think is really awesome and you might be interested, and then totally detach from what that person says, does with it. If they say no, you are detached. If they say yes, you are detached. And when you offer help, you offer it without your added emotion, because quite often people try and help out of fear, out of anxiety, out of control. I'm going to control you. I'm going to tell you and judge you that you're wrong, what you're doing's wrong, whatever it might be that this person has got going on in their life. If it comes with your fear, your anxiety, or your judgment, or your opinion, that's a very intense energy to come at somebody. And so what it ends up people do when that comes at them is that they defend and deflect. So if you can imagine that you are in a difficult place in your life right now, let's pretend it's you, and you are in suffering and you're kind of lost and confused and you don't know how to help yourself, or you don't want to help, and then someone comes at you and tries to give you help. So some information, some resources, a book, ideas, conversation, connection to someone that might be able to help them, anything like that. They come at it and they give it to you, but they come with that with fear. So you're getting the help, but you're getting fear behind it. And you're like, I don't like this. This is not nice energy. Like, I don't need my own problems or challenges loaded with that. Thanks. Or you're anxious and you're controlling, and they're trying to deal with their own stuff going on, and now they've got somebody that's kind of coming at them that feels controlling. Or judgment, the person just wants to shut down. Like, they've got enough going on in their life right now they can't cope with someone else's stuff coming at them, like it's just another bit of baggage they can't take. If they're in a position where they can't help themselves, they don't want to help themselves, or they are oblivious to the fact they need help, those things will shut them down further. So your job, if you want to help them, is get into your center self and reduce your fear, reduce your anxiety, let go of your judgment, your opinions, and your need to control. Find your inner peace. There's plenty of videos on my YouTube channel and website to help you with that. Then from the place of inner peace, you go and you can offer help to them. And it's just help. It's just like, hey, this is something that I thought was interesting. Here you go. Thought you might be interested. If not, that's cool. You send an email, you send a text, you have a chat, you just say it in passing. You are totally coming from a place of peace and you're totally detached. You don't watch their face to see how they react. You don't add a whole lot of reasoning about why they should be listening to you. You don't come from that attached point of view because, again, that makes the person feel like they're being forced, and no one likes to feel like they're being forced, let alone when they're in a difficult situation. So those are some tips to help you. It's really about cleaning up your own self and your energy, because when you shift your energy about somebody and towards somebody, they feel it even if they don't consciously understand what's happening. So if previously you've been really upset for this person and you're trying to throw this help to them and they just won't listen to you, and all of a sudden you just shift and now you're like, I just love this person and I just have faith that things are going to work out and I'm just going to offer the help, but I'm not attached. Your whole energy is different. And if nothing else, that person will just be more able to be with you. And they won't see you coming and kind of try and shut down straight away because they're like, I know what this is going to be about. They're going to try and help me again, right? So you actually give them an energy which allows them to chill out and relax around you. And then they've got a chance to open their mind to you and their heart to you because they don't feel like there's something coming at them where they have to defend, deflect, or shut down. So that energy shift doesn't actually have to take a long time. Then being around them, they'll notice that. Even if they don't consciously know it or say anything, it'll start to shift the situation. You know, you calm your energy, it impacts the situation. And then I want to just end on a final point, and that is this. When somebody is lost in deep adversity, challenge, suffering, maybe they know it, maybe they don't know it. And maybe you think they need help and they kind of agree, but they won't take it. Or they're just oblivious that there's a problem, okay? And they're quite happily digging themselves in a hole and causing destruction, or whatever's going on. They have lost sight of who they are. And they don't even remember what's available to them from a higher perspective. They don't even understand or have access for themselves right now to the full possibility that is them, that is in them, that is available to them, that is this life that they've been gifted. They don't remember that right now. It's highly likely they are completely disconnected from that. And even if they do have a connection to it, it's so minute and small and the suffering is so loud that they find it really hard to be in that and to do anything with it. So your job is to remember for them. If you can do one thing for this person that you want to help that won't take help, your job is this: love them unconditionally and remember for them who they really are. See them beyond this pattern, habit, adversity, challenge, refusal to take help. See them beyond that, beyond their personality, beyond their words, beyond their behaviour, and remember the light that they are, that they were born as, the possibility that is in them. Remember it for them when they cannot remember it for themselves, and that's it. If you did nothing else and that's all you did, that is your responsibility and that is your duty and that is your gift to them if you love them. And that is often actually enough, strangely, because you have to trust the situation. If someone doesn't want your help, you cannot force them and control them, and when you try to, you will build a bigger gap between you and that person. And your inherent human nature is when you want to help and it's not working, you grip on tighter. And the truth of what you need to do is the opposite, is to just let go a little bit and allow some more flowing and unfolding, and have trust that this person can walk their path. They're as capable of walking their path as you're capable of walking yours, and that doesn't mean they won't have suffering, but who doesn't? And suffering sometimes can be the path that we take to come back to home in ourselves. So I hope this has been helpful here on Daily Inspiration. Share this with anyone that you think might benefit from it. If you are here on YouTube, please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe so I can share more videos like this with you. And please do stay tuned for another video I'm releasing on my channel today. I did a Q&A webinar last night with people in the community, in the Pinch Me Living community around the world, about the Master Your Mind program. It was so fun. We actually spent a little over an hour and a half, I think, doing Q&A about how to master your mind and the process of mastering your mind. We talked about mind in relation to goals, relationships, life challenges, money, spirituality, all sorts of amazing topics, manifestation, health and well-being, and it was really awesome. So if you're interested in either the Master Your Mind program, or if you're just interested in getting some coaching about your mind and how it impacts your life and what you need to be aware of, then tune into that video. I'll release it today. The first 10 minutes or so is actually about the program, so if you're not interested in that, you can just skip through to about, I think it's around minute 10, and you can just benefit from the coaching. That's cool. I hope you enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for more daily inspiration.